Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Undone, Season 2 of the show that is a Amazon Prime original, a show that I absolutely loved the first season of. It is a rotoscoped animated show starring Rosa Salazar, Bob Odenkirk, a very trippy, surreal, fantasy, sci-fi kind of a show about time travel in a very... It discusses time travel and utilizes time travel in a very interesting way. I absolutely love Season 1. Rewatched that because it's been years. It feels like it's been forever since Season 1 came out. Yeah, Season 1 came out in 2019, so 3 years. I'm sure the pandemic had something to do with the fact that it took so long. But I'm glad they came out with a Season 2 because Season 1 did kind of leave on a cliffhanger, and I'm going to spoil Season 1. The premise for Season 1 was Rosa Salazar's character, whose name is Alma, discovered that she has these kind of powers that were like passed down through her family, which have been attributed to like people who are like shamans in other cultures. And she discovers these powers. She starts getting visions of her dad who's dead, and the visions that she's having of him, she starts communicating with him, and he's like teaching her how to use her powers. He was a scientist, and he was studying this kind of link between schizophrenia and shamans, and the link between the two, and so he kind of becomes her mentor in a lot of ways, trying to teach her how to utilize her powers, and also it's all to do to save him. To save his life because he died. So Rosa Salazar's character, Alma, wants to save her dad's life. Obviously, her dad, who's coming to her in these visions, wants to be alive as well. And Season 1 ends with the cliffhanger of her waiting for her dad to come back to life. Like, she did these things, right? Like a time travel type of a premise where you go back in time, you try to right the wrongs and create a new, kind of bring somebody back that you lost. So we don't know if it worked at the end of Season 1. It was kind of, in some ways, it could have ended at Season 1, but at the same time, it was never definitive what actually happened. So Season 2, we start at the same place where Alma is sitting. She's in Mexico. She's sitting outside of this cave that's supposed to be part of these types of ceremonies or whatever. And her mom is Mexican. So she's got like this lineage of like these shamans from not only from her mom's side, but also her dad's side, who is Jewish and came from, that area of like those European countries. So she's sitting in front of this cave. Season 2 opens up. Things are different. And she finds out that it worked. So now Alma is in this completely new reality where her dad is alive, but also she never learned how to utilize her powers in this new reality. Like, since her dad survived and didn't end up dying, he like kind of backed away from the research because it was his research that kind of tore his family apart and was responsible for his death. So he stepped back from it. And because of that, he never taught his daughter how to utilize these powers. So it's kind of like a fish out of water thing. So that's where this season starts. And it's great. it's like, so she's kind of discovering she's a teacher now, but she's teaching things that are related to the whole mythology of her abilities and like how people actually had these abilities and all this stuff. But it's not until episode 4, like the first few episodes, it's kind of setting everything up. Like there's this mystery with her mom, right? There's this mystery. Her mom's like having these things. She like, is she cheating on her dad? Like, what is wrong? There's another family issue going on, and then her mom just disappears. So this season is in a lot of ways dealing with that mystery of her mom, but also this season is dealing with trying to fix past family trauma, which is similar to season 1 and very similar in a lot of ways. It reminded me in a lot of ways to Russian Doll season 2. Both season 2 of Russian Doll and Undone season 2 are so much about trying to go back into the past and dealing with family traumas and that ripple effect where these traumas happen, how that changed their families. I would say, despite the fact that I love Russian Doll, I would say Undone is a far more entertaining ride, a far more, I think it fleshes out that idea and does so in a more like traditional, I mean, this show is so not traditional, but in more of a storytelling way that feels more, it just feels better once you hit the end. Like it feels like it does a lot more than what Russian Doll does. And also, you know, so the first 3 episodes of this show are kind of setting up this completely new situation where it's like Alma's in a new reality. Her dad is alive, so she's thankful for that. Her sister, her older sister, got married to this guy that in the previous reality she had cheated on. That was from season 1. But now there's this new thing with her mom. So she wants to fix that, but she can't. She doesn't have her powers. But then she finds out that her sister kind of has a version of those powers where she's able to look into the memories of people that she's near. So she's able to kind of look into her mom's memories. She's able to look into like her grandma's memories and things like that. And in that ability, she's able to time travel. So it's like setting up all these things. Like season 4, it's all about this mystery of what's happening with her mom. And in episode 4, they go to Mexico because they find out, like, okay, what they think is that her mom is cheating on their dad with somebody else. Maybe it's an old love, maybe it's somebody else, whatever. So they go to Mexico. They have like a painting. So they're kind of going off a few clues, which I do enjoy the mystery aspect of this. It's like a interdimensional mystery kind of whodunit in a way. I enjoy the ride that you go on because as a viewer you don't know either. But when it hits season 4 and you realize what's happening, it finally gets to that surreal part of the show that I absolutely love. Because so much of season 1, there were so many like surreal moments, and it felt like the first 3 episodes of this season, they kind of went away from that. Like when the sister would get these visions, it was very basic. I mean, it's all rotoscope. The animation's gorgeous. Performances are amazing. Rosa Salazar acting with Bob Odenkirk is like the best. It is like so much fun to watch those two bounce off of each other. And Rosa is like a superstar in this show. Like she is so fun to watch. Her character's like sense of humor and just like the way her performance just feels so honest and real and it's just such a joy to watch. And now a quick word from our sponsor. Now you can wear The Many Faces, original art by Ray Taylor. Select pieces from the ongoing series of abstract ink paintings. All products made with high quality materials, made right here in the USA. Go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch to browse the entire collection and save yourself an extra 10% when you check out by using coupon code RTSTMF. So once again, go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch and save 10% when you use coupon code RTSTMF. And now, back to our show. But on episode 4 is when things start getting really trippy. And I loved it. I loved the ideas that the show's trying to do that's similar to Russian Doll, trying to fix past trauma. And it's, doing it in a way that's kind of like so many time travel type of movies, but handled in a way that's so like, it feels good. It feels like I don't know, like it's so, I don't know. It's like this crazy surreal ride where you feel disoriented at times, but you always know what's happening. Like, despite the fact it even has like almost Groundhog Day type of things where it's like they force themselves to get stuck in a time loop to try and fix this problem. They're just like trying every possible way to fix a problem that they think is the solution to the problem, right? Obviously, I'm going to spoil stuff. I could, like, it's hard to just talk about the themes of this and stuff, but there's like moments of this show that I really love. So if you haven't watched, first watch season 1. It is amazing. And season 2, I would say, is even better. Like, which is crazy. It's crazy that like they took what was an amazing, beautifully told, surreal time travel story with this amazing rotoscoped look from season 1, and they built on it in a way that was so satisfying. That is the word that I've been searching for. It is so satisfying to watch this. So expect spoilers. I would recommend watching it for sure. But, so there's the thing where she goes and the whole baby thing, like the part of one of the stories, her sister, is that she wants to, her husband wants to get pregnant. She obviously is on the fence about it, doesn't really necessarily want it, possibly taking birth control to not get pregnant. But there's this thing that happens when they go to Mexico. They find the building that's in the painting, and you find out that that's like some medicine woman's building where she performs different things. Women go there to give birth, yada, yada. But her sister starts having these hallucinations of a baby crying, seeing a baby, and she is taking care of this baby while she's clearly like out of it. Because Alma has pushed her sister, who hasn't properly been trained in using her abilities, pushed her past that, and she's fatigued from using her abilities to try and track down their mom. And now she's having these hallucinations of this baby. And you find out that there's like, they're not only just trying to fix and find out what happened to their mom, why their mom just disappeared, why she's sending money to somebody in Mexico, why there's these calls to Mexico that, she's not being honest with her husband about. You find out that she gave up a kid for adoption. She'd gone to this house to give birth, and then that lady gave this kid for adoption, and she had once gone to go see him, visit him. So there's this other character, this other member of the family. So part of trying to fix this is to try and fix that situation. But then there's a situation with Bob Odenkirk's mom, which is what initially made him want to study this stuff, because his mom had schizophrenia, but he also knew that his mom potentially had these abilities. And when Alma I think it's episode 4, when Alma, she's going to try and go back in time to convince Bob Odenkirk's mom, Jacob, to convince his mom to not give the kid away, because Jacob's mom convinces their mom to give the kid away, and they want to fix that, right? Because they don't want that, they want this guy to be part of their family or whatever. But she accidentally goes back into the wrong time period where his mom is in like an insane asylum, but it's like the wrong time period. Like it's not even close to when she's going to be given this advice. So it's like, it's this oh shit moment where you see Alma crawl through this like wormhole into the past, and then she finds out that she's in the wrong time. But now she is a crazy person. Now she's a normal person in an insane asylum, but believes that she's from the future. It's like an oh shit moment. It's the moment where this show is like, oh, here we go. Like they're done setting everything up. Like the whole mystery with the mom, all of that was just a setup for them to get into like the surrealness of everything. And she ends up the linking of that song and how the song is able to bring them into a space where she's able to try, not try, finally ends up getting out. Then they find out that there's an issue with Jacob's mom and trying to fix her, like going to that original trying to fix his mom. Now they want to do it because they, like, as they're uncovering things, they realize that like they start to realize what her trauma is, or that they start narrowing down on how to figure out what her trauma is. And there's this crazy scene, right? Now they're on this mission. Like, we got to find the right time and place to tell her, to ask her what this dark trauma is that she's not discussing. And it's like this crazy, like there's these MC Usher staircases that they're all walking through, kind of like Squid Game as well. There's like this kind of crazy world where it's like you're seeing all the different versions of his mom at different points in her life in this like mishmash of like kaleidoscopic realities that she's it's like so much of it I loved, because I was like, up until episode 4, I'm like, it's kind of a bummer that they went away from the surreal aspect of the show, because up until that point it was just these generic kind of transitions into her sister being able to see what other people's thoughts are and go into their memories. Like, it's a very basic transition. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, the rubber hits the road. We're getting surreal. Super surreal. And it's amazing. And then they find out, it's like, oh, it was when Jacob's mom was a child. They were in, I don't know where they were, some European country during World War II. They're Jewish, and the Nazis are going to come kill everybody. Right? They're going to go take them into internment camps. And there's this thing that happens where, because the mom is like this soothsayer, she's got these abilities to see the future. Like Jacob's grandma had these abilities, and she was teaching her daughter, which is Jacob's mom, how to kind of use these things where they use like a bucket, a bowl of water, and they look into the water, and that would reveal the future. Join Inspired Disorder Plus today. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus to join. Membership includes members-only discounts and deals. You get access to the Ray Taylor Show completely ad-free, as well as bonus episodes. You get access to the complete live painting archive. You also get access to every single podcast ever produced by Inspired Disorder, hosted by Ray Taylor. You get access to Ray Taylor's personal blog, as well as the opportunity to ask me any questions. So if you want to start a podcast, you're into art, ask me anything. And so many more things are being added every day to Inspired Disorder Plus. So sign up today, become a member, head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus, and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today. So there's a situation where reality didn't go the way a soldier wanted it, so they were going to come back and take them away. And it's that situation where it's like they do that time loop to try and figure out a way to make it so she doesn't lose her parents, because she's always blamed herself for her parents being taken away by the Nazis. And Jacob does everything he can trying to do that, exhausting himself, trying to fix this situation, which is amazing. It's like when you are on this ride with them, in this crazy trippy ride, you're like, everything is believable. Everything is like, okay, yeah. Like they make everything plausible in this reality. And it's just so heartbreaking to see like true trauma trying to get fixed. And it's like so much of this show, it has those moments where they're afraid to change things, afraid because it's like time travel. As an audience, you know all the time travel tropes. Don't change anything in the past, and they're very scared about doing anything because they don't want that reality that created with Jacob alive. They don't want that to be ruined in order to try and fix these other things. But once they get the opportunity, once Jacob sees that there's an opportunity to fix his mom, he can't, like, there's nothing else to do for him. That is all that is left. And a lot of this is, despite the fact they are able to do things, like, it doesn't fix everything. Like, every time they fix something, another thing happens. And it's just like, you can't keep going and fixing things to try and make things happen. And she also, Alma's character, or Alma, Rosa Salazar's character, also is constantly thinking of, like, the reality that this other version of her is still sitting in front of that cave waiting for her dad. And that, like, this life that she had in this alternate universe is gone. And it's like, it's almost like the show, in a lot of ways, similarly to Russian Doll, is to accept the life that you have. Like, accept the things that have happened in your life. The traumas that have happened, the traumas that have happened in your family, and that even though you may have the power to go back and change those traumas, there's no way to make a perfect reality to exist in. There's always going to be some sacrifice. There's always going to be some loss. And despite how impossible it is for me to talk about this show, I absolutely love it. The stepbrother that they have, it's a great addition to this thing, and to see his character fleshed out, to, like, feel abandoned by his mom, and to get the realization that she came to visit him, and when she came to visit him, that she didn't just adopt him, didn't take him with her. To find out, to meet his family finally. Another one of the things they try to fix is that, like, he's got, like, cancer, so they're trying to go back and to try and change his life so that he doesn't have to work this one job that ends up causing him tons of health problems throughout his life. So it's like a throughout season 2, they're going through and fixing a lot of problems in their family, attempting to. And even though they find success in changing those things and righting the wrongs of their family, in the end, it wasn't the actual solution. I don't know. all of the themes of this show I absolutely love. The visual style I love. The surrealness of it I love. The time travel aspect of it. The time loop aspect of it I love. The ideas of trying to go back and fix family trauma. The adventure you go on, this like time travel adventure to try and fix their family, is so much fun. And the performances. Rosa Salazar, amazing. On her own, with Bob Odenkirk, it's all great. So I highly recommend it. If you haven't checked it out, 100% watch season 1, watch season 2. It is one of the best shows. One of the best shows. My only thing I didn't like is that the improvements that they made on the rotoscoping make it look too real. It's too close to... It almost looks like it, rotoscoping, they film the video, and then they basically draw cartoonishly over it. If you ever seen, like, God, what is that? Not Donnie Darko. Oh, I'm blanking on that name. But there's been a few. Waking Life was, like, a very early version of it. But this one, the textures of, like, the clothing and the skin and the things, like, it almost it's too close to actual video. It needs to go more in the animation. I think just flatter textures and things like that. So it's kind of like there's kind of a weird, not necessarily like I don't know. But I still loved it. There was only a few moments where the animation style was like it almost felt like there was something wrong with my eyes while I was watching. It's like, why does that look so weird? Like, it looks so much like video at times, but, like, not... I don't know. I'm doing horrible at explaining my thoughts on certain things. The surrealness of this show seeped into my brain and shuffled the words around and my abilities to explain things. But Undone Season 2 on Amazon Prime, probably one of the best things on Amazon Prime. Check it out. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.